Oh, I'm unmuted now. Hello, Young. Welcome, Brown Dwarf. Welcome, James, Daniel. So awesome to see you guys. It looks like the audio is catching up with us. Yeah, it's such an honor to be here. I'm so happy to connect with you guys live once again. Yesterday, I had a couple interviews back to back, and by the end of the day, I was done. Could not do more. So yeah, I also did a really fun interview on My Life is Awesome with my friend Lit. So if any of you are interested, you guys can check that out. We had some in conversation about health and essentially the what it means to be healthy. Um, Anyhow, today we are continuing the challenge of running energy, and we're going to try to run energy for 30 days. So even if I don't show up here the next day, you are going to continue running the energy every day. And the tools that I impart with you on these lectures and this work are to empower you to transform your life. And what I'm sharing with you are not just abstract concepts that I gathered by reading books or by studying other people's information. This is internal, profound investigation and research, things that I have um, actually accomplished, not just kind of experimented with. Okay, so everything I'm telling you are things that I've actually embodied, exercised, tested back and forth, front and back, in order to understand how does the multidimensional body function in this realm. And you are energetic beings, and you are coexisting in this entire ocean of energy that is at your disposal when you understand how to use it in order to channel into creation, into the things that you want to manifest, into a life that is full of vitality, a life that's full of health, a life that is joyful, safe, and completely empowered in your ability to manifest. And manifestation is not about acquiring wealth or objects and things and these ideals that are imparted into us by social engineering. It is the profound coherence and reconnection with the true internal self and with nature, because it's actually through nature that we learn how to become this universal organism. So that's what today's conversation is about. We, within our bodies, hold the entire universe. And it's not just superficially that we are the entire universe, but actually we hold within our body the energies that interconnect us to this entire universe. Every single cell in the body is oscillating in a vibrational frequency that aligns you and moves you in and out of dimensions as all cells intercommunicate and process information for your external navigation and exchange. And so, um, as modern humans, we sever that connection severely to our source and to the main source of energy, which is all around you. Okay. The multidimensional body, this beautiful physical body, is only a very small portion of what makes up your entire self, your entire system. Your system is more energetic. You have an entire field around you that enters into a room, that enters into a timeline, that enters into a network of events, sequences of experiences and potential events before you even decide to come into that place, or see those people or go do those activities. Because what's actually running the system is the subconscious core beliefs, which are a combination of emotions and thoughts and programs, which are processed, and those are charges that you're putting into the network. So as these energies are input through your body, these emotional energies, this emotional creation is input into the system. we are literally creating ahead. We are attracting through our magnetic field the union with these people, places, and things that we are going to have experiences with. And there's an element of agreements that this process of energetic exchange, the process of implementation of intention into your energy through your emotional body, is the process of experiential agreements. And we're going to talk deeper about experiential agreements as we progress in this challenge. But today, I want to focus on this network of energy that is a field that is intercommunicating with many parts of us at all times. And our ability to use this energy for our healing, the ability to use the energy that is so abundantly around us, is a matter of waking up consciousness and coming into the present moment, in the awareness of that present moment, so that you can understand what is at your disposal. There is so much energy around you that can be utilized, but we're so dormant and we're so stuck looking at the sliver of that very myopic perception of the material world, in which we redirect our attention to constant reaction of the external world, creating and investing all our energy in the survival mechanisms of the experiences, being completely at the mercy of external experiences or triggers. And that is a profound level of unconsciousness, because to exist in a world of energy, but to deny that energy and focus on a very small percentage of creation, severs you from your sovereignty into very deeply codependent, imbalanced exchanges with people, places, and things, and with yourself. Energetically, we become depleted of our creative life force. So life force is infinite potential, and it's up to us to turn that infinite potential into the things that we want to exchange and co-create in this world. And to do that requires an understanding how this mechanism of the body works. It all has to do with your emotions and your intention. And your intention is rooted in the subconscious beliefs about yourself, about the things outside of you. So as you can see, these beautiful, intricate, interconnected processes are something that, as we mature, we begin to understand how to take responsibility for the creation and the destruction of both sides of the giving and receiving process of creation. But as an energetic being, your ability to become aware of yourself as energy is the key to creation, because energy exists around you as a creative force before your logical mind, before your brain even processes, has the ability to process the meaning of that information and that creative energy. So for the wise and mature and cultivated energy master, you must understand the language of energy, which is the language of creation. And the link around that is awareness. And awareness is the utilization of your faculties through the sensory system, so that you can translate connected the intuition with the physical body, in order to navigate in a way of very clear discernment that is in alignment with your highest intention. That being that your highest intention is clear and congruent. Okay, so we identify our highest intention by first deprogramming all of the repetitive unconscious belief systems that sustain us in counter creation, that sustain us in illness, blockages, blocked belief systems, all that. When we eliminate and begin to integrate those parts of us that exist in the field as energy blockages of those belief systems, we begin to open up the space of energy, and we are aware of this energetic exchange more. This is why people, when they do a lot of trauma and deep healing work of their programming, they immediately begin to activate their intuition. They begin to recover memories. Because again, our memory is actually a sign of spiritual evolution. The human that has recovered their memory of this lifetime and of many lifetimes is the human that is activating their DNA, in a sense where they are beginning to uncover the layers, the many fractals of themselves that coexist in this creation. So it's important to do that because you understand your purpose, you remember who you are. And again, as we talked about in our last video, we are everything. So it's the uncovering of the interconnectedness and of the awareness of yourself as an extension in the manifestation of all these things around you. And that awareness is extremely freeing. It's incredibly important for this organism to embody the functions of conduit energy, which is a generator of energy, which essentially is a generator of creation. So let's talk about what we are made out of. And when we talk about running energy, which is utilizing this abundant source of energy that surrounds us and utilizing that energy to re-energize, heal, and turn this body into that conduit of creation. It is available to you at all times. And now there's other deeper topics about how societies were built in order to pull away from the natural world, from the connection to natural organic models of living. Not only from the shape of the houses that we live in, but in the way that our communities are built, which in ancient civilizations were modeled after natural systems of energy, such as the Mayans with their spiral water filtration systems, and in the communities that are circular in the nomads, the American Indians, and many, many ancient civilizations. And in the shape of the houses, dome-like shapes, pyramids, teepees, if you begin to research the history of houses and how they were built, there is a very interesting natural intelligence to open spaces that curved and allowed energy to move freely, especially through the top of the house, and open spaces in the living space, and made out of materials that are contributing to a conduit of energy. And that actually allows the energetic body to come into its full expansion, and it doesn't interfere or sever and weaken the field. As we have been pulled away from these natural systems, of course, coming into the Industrial Revolution and with social engineering and with the very specific eugenics programs that have existed through generations, the compartmentalizing of certain races, groups, bloodlines specifically, descendants of certain bloodlines have been kind of allocated in this world energetically, not directly by these parasitic systems, but as a natural self-organizing system. And some of these groups have been in environments that are counter-creative to the thriving of their race, because the energy of these places, like ley lines and the way and the runways of life force through these earth grids. See, the planet Earth also being a conscious, intelligent organism, self-organizing information. So groups of certain bloodlines gather ancestrally around the planet in specific energy points and vortices that nourish those bloodlines, sometimes more than others. And every human has their own energy directions and ley lines to which they can adhere to for healing and regeneration, more so than other locations. So this kind of awareness and intelligence was something that was utilized, and it was paid attention to by these ancient civilizations, but we kind of have pulled away from that into concrete, steel, um, houses and wood houses, depending on where you're living around the world, that are built in order to economize and with these consumer like systems of fitting more people into more cosmopolitan areas and creating suburban areas. The way energy was structured was following the lines of a square, and the lines of a square are cutting off organic shapes. Organic shapes work in spheres and spirals, and we see that in the models of architecture of very connected civilizations that held a lot of this ancient wisdom, and we see less of it in civilizations that are focused more on material development, away from nature and the natural development of humanity. So in our homes, we actually, if we are in a concrete box or if we are in a house made of metal, that is oftentimes away from nature and has artificial lights, it will really weaken the field. And the other part is fresh oxygen. If there is stagnation of oxygen and there's no air and there's no movement energetically, because of the shape and because of the structure of these buildings, it really weakens the environment for you energetically. And most humans that are working for years inside of these buildings, because most humans spend most of their life at work, unfortunately. Now, after things have changed in the world, people are working more from home, which was a step in evolution, a step in the right direction for humanity. It was absolutely needed. And if it's one thing that has come that is, well, actually, I think the entire event was for this reason, for the reasons of putting a stall to parasitic systems, honestly, because it really forced us into coming back to community, coming back to connection, and also separation in order to revisit our belief systems. But besides that, these houses are not allowing the conduit of the energetic field. And because we don't know how to create and regenerate our energetic body, we become ill and sick. Because on top of it, we are repeating parasitic programs within ourselves that are self-destructive. Okay, so our spiral, which is supposed to be a magnetic field of co-creation, becomes a very depleted energy system that leaks energy and eventually becomes ill, and eventually we die. Okay, so the invitation in this work is to understand that we cannot all be in nature, but because you exist and are made of energy, you are the one that has the ability of mastering energy around you. Practices like Qigong, for example, and Tai Chi, and some other interesting metaphysical martial arts that have been used in history, all talk about the mastery of directing life force through and around your body. We have a very specific architecture to our physical body. As I mentioned, the toroidal field, and that really means something because the center channel of energy is through the internal, and the regenerative and recycling mechanism allows you to connect to the field, which is your antenna that is pulling information in and out through the field. It comes into your body as energy first, and then translates into vibrational frequency that is coming into the cells, the nervous system, right? Processed through the brain, the bioelectrical thought forms and firing neural pathways for your responses and reactions, triggering chemical reactions, and then responding in your biomechanical system. So these very intricate processes, when the human is awake and conscious, it can choose wisely how to interact with the external stimulation. Without that awareness, without the ability to have the pause to assess whether this energy is needed inside of your energetic field or not, or if you're going to know how to transmute that energy correctly, the human is just filled with free radicals and completely imbalanced, without any control of their mind, their body, or any part of their creation. So the mastery of life force is extremely important, because now we understand that if we are energy beings and if our environment is life force, it's all life force, we can utilize the tools of accessing energy through the energetic body, because you are always connected. If you're not connected, you're dead, right? Because the life force is what animates your life. And if you sever that cord, you die, you become ill and you die. Okay. So let's talk about running energy. When we run energy, excuse me, we are utilizing earth energy. Earth energy is the regenerative system of the planet Earth, which is functioning like a recycling mechanism that transmutes energy. The Earth is the first alchemist. Okay, it's a transmutation. It processes through a transduction process as well of moving energy through its toroidal form. And the vibrational frequency of the earth is specific to the architecture, to the biology of all living organisms here. It is the nourishing source in combination with the sun being the creator and the designer of our blood, of our physical matter that creates this organic meat suit, this body, the organism, which is modeled after the shape of this body that is in alignment with the fundamental constructs of the main platonic solids of this system, are part of this key to understanding your ability to co-create and master the realm. So when we are in the sun really helps regenerate the body and also builds our immune system, because our life force, and also helps maintain harmony and balance in your blood system and the network of nourishment in the blood, and how much your blood is nourishing your body and how it processes information throughout your body. So connecting to the sun as a source of energy is a natural connection, but your awareness and making sure that you are connecting and absorbing energy from the sun. And even if you live in Norway or somewhere where you don't get a lot of sun, the connection energetically with the sun is what is needed. Okay, it's not about being in the sun all day. It's about working with the energy of the sun in and around your body to nourish the body. So in the same way, the earth is receiving information from the sun. All humans have the kind of blood that we have, the chemical composition of the blood that we have is a product of the architecture of the earth and the connection with the sun. And living organisms that exist in the solar system share some part of that chemical construct. Okay. And it's how we intercommunicate energetically with our brothers and sisters in this solar system. And every solar system has their own biological architecture pertinent to the planets and the design of that system. Okay, so the same with the planet Earth. And the planet Earth is the regenerative source. It is based in the law of three. Okay, The placement of the planet Earth also indicates the range of frequency that it holds and the lessons and the experiences that can be received in this earth, which are all about the integration of duality for pure creation. That's the law of three. Okay, feminine, masculine, the alchemical marriage for the third to be born. You are the third that is being born consistently all the time. So when we begin to use the earth energy from the earth, we can actually pull that energy up into the body. Now, a body that is extremely disconnected from their energetic body becomes ill. Always, always. Okay. The human that doesn't know how to open up the runways of energy through the body becomes stagnant, ill, and eventually dies. It is very important for you to learn how to work with your energy. Okay. It's secondary to your emotions, because your emotions are how you're using energy, basically. So we have a main source cord that runs through this system that animates life, which is source energy. And that source energy that runs the source cord is interconnected in like a web-like system to all the all the chakras in the body. The chakra that we have thousands of chakras in this body that make up the hologram of the physical body. Each one of those chakras processing different vibrational frequencies, and basically animating and processing the data, the experiential data of this physical vessel. So any one of those points, any one of those vortices that become stagnant eventually turns into problems in that part of the body. Okay, so the source cord that runs through the body, usually it's blocked and severed when we are not in our body, because most of us don't even want to be in the physical body. Most of us were floating up here, out of the body as wallflowers in some way, or just disconnected, because being fully in the physical body is overwhelming, it's painful. Those are the belief systems, that it's painful, that it's uncomfortable, because when you are fully in the body, you have to utilize the senses of your body to process the information that you're taking yourself around to experience. And so the unconscious person, the one in hypnosis, is completely disconnected from that, disconnected from their body. How do you know someone is not intuitive, not manifesting their life, not experiencing any level of coherence in their life? It's someone that doesn't want to be in the body or doesn't want to be on earth. Okay. Ideas that you don't belong here, ideas that you weren't meant to be here, that is not true. Absolutely never true, ever. It doesn't work. That's not true at all. And I know there are some schools of thought that believe that, but the evidence is in your multidimensional body. Literally, you cannot exist because you are so deeply interconnected. If you were able to see your multidimensional body, do you know how many systems interconnect to create the form of your physical body? Okay, it's impossible that you do not belong here. We exist and coexist in many dimensions of realities that we can't even comprehend with our filters. Okay, so that being said, this kind of disassociation is one of the biggest weaponizations of the human evolution and psyche and ability to ascend, because that split that is created, that's what this entire human experience is about, unifying the split, the idea, because that this is a fractal of source that has split temporarily in order to experience, with the intention of experience. So we are in this lifetime experiencing separation and experiencing reunification. That's what this entire life is for. And that is going to manifest into millions of possibilities, as you know. So potential. So the human is experiencing this reunification process, and that reunification process is the reintegration of all energy systems, and it happens through the physical body. That's why people that only want to be out of body or interdimensionally or distracted with interdimensional experiences only are actually missing the whole point. Everything happens in the physical body, through the physical body, through the mastery of this organism. And so, utilizing the life force and reconnecting yourself to the earth, which is what you are born here to do, is the healthiest thing that you can do. And that's why scientifically proven that when you walk in nature, you can connect to that network of energy and the body regenerates and heals. However, the education stopped right there because they forgot to mention that, by the way, anytime that you connect to the energetic field with your intention and your understanding, you can regenerate and heal your body. So remember that this matter is actually more empty space than any solid substance. Everything is energy. So we can pull from the things around us life force to regenerate this body. And it's an infinite source that exists around you. I was able to heal myself from many kind of ailments by pulling from the earth, from trees, sometimes regenerative cleansing energy to heal the body from illnesses, disease, emotions, whatever it is. This is a mechanism that has been studied by Chinese medicine, Taoist exercises, and many, many different cultures around the world, including American Indians that have talked about connecting with nature, or the Pachamama, for example. We have many, many manifestations of that. We all have known them. But how do we embody this as a practical tool? Connecting to the center of the earth is your ability to connect with the antenna of the organism that is designed to help you experience the separation. If you don't connect to the earth, you're not receiving the information. People think we only receive information from somewhere up there, somewhere up above, but actually a lot of our information is extremely nourished from the earth, because we are healing ancestral memory, ancestral histories, and part of your purpose is to heal and clean up that ancestral lineage, not because you're doing someone else a favor or because it's a nice thing to do, but because you are a product of those belief core systems. And if you don't realize that, you are perpetuating the suffering that has been existing for generations. And it creates suffering for the entire human race, not just you. The children that you anchor into this earth are going to continue those patterns. The people you interact with every day, you leave imprints of suffering within them. You hurt them, they hurt you. Okay, so we have this illusion of pain and suffering and helplessness and disconnect that needs to be looked at and revisited with an understanding that we create these dynamics of imbalanced exchanges when we disconnect. So the greatest abuse that the human can do is disconnecting from nature. We definitely do not have a clear understanding and intuitive connection to the collective. The other part is that the earth is the DNA of the earth, which is the Akashic records, which are important for every single one of you to tune into. You must tune in to the Akashic records. It's not yours, It's the network of information that interconnects you with all living organisms. How can you operate in this world being severed from that library of information? It's a dictionary for you, so you understand the meaning of this world that you exist in. So it's extremely important for us to begin to connect to these networks of information, because for a long time, we all fell into a deep sleep into the material, to experience the material, which was fine, to experience separation. But right now, we are starting a new cycle in 2005, which is period 9, which is all about this time of reconnection and regeneration for the human. We talk about the reemergence of the divine feminine. What is the feminine energy? It's intuition, it's the mastery of the occult, of the sacred, of the mystical, of the creative, pure primordial life forces manifesting into the physical. So for those of you that are channels that are connecting to these places, refine your channel to come into as much of a 0 point so that you're getting pure information, and connect to the earth, connect to this system, because that is where the body will regenerate. Okay. Secondly, when we run energy, we can remember that, there's a refraction mechanism, and we have a certain spectrum of color that we are able to see. Now, that also speaks to the kind of emotional data and information that the human is able to process. Okay. Remember that when color, it absorbs all the rays of the color and rejects the one color that it is, right? So that's why they say rose-colored glasses. You wear rose colors, everything is rose to you. It's a filter of perception. So the human is a rainbow body in that sense. We have to unlock the ability to perceive all ranges of frequencies, the deepest, darkest shades to the highest, lightest shades. We need to learn how to become a conduit of all frequencies, all emotional data, all energetic information processed through the body. And that's another side effect of cleaning your energetic body on a daily basis. The more you don't clean your body every day, the more narrow your vision and your understanding of the world around you becomes. So that has to be open. And much like nature, giving and receiving and exchanging energies in this very cyclical, regenerative form, we need to learn how to do that with these many ranges of frequencies, colors, and energies. And by learning these energies, you do it through the emotional body, through the sensation emotional body. Okay. Deprogramming limiting belief systems to broaden your range of frequencies that you are able to process, which will broaden the amount of emotion that you can hold in your body, which is a product of how you become a conduit of energy. Okay, so you grow gray matter in your brain through meditation. As I mentioned before, you grow it down your spine, you become more of a conduit. This is why the more the human ascends, the more powerful the contrast will feel. Okay, because you will have to, as I mentioned, I think a couple of days ago, the stronger the emotions you will have to process through your body, and until you integrate them. Okay, and that's what those experiences are the invitation for. So utilizing earth energy, you can select the frequency that you need for your body. And in order to select that frequency, you have to be connected with yourself. You have to understand what your body needs. What is the major core process that frequency that you're processing in your body, and what would be something that would nourish that or transmute that into a higher octave of health, vitality, and opening and expansion. Okay, so if let's say you're in fear and you're full of, let's say, the color red, fear, and you realize that the color blue actually is something very soothing for you, you fill your field with the color blue, and immediately the body begins to regenerate. These are techniques that have been taught in pranic healing and in many shamanic practices of using life force to heal and regenerate the body. So these are very simple tools that are extremely powerful. And my whole purpose for having this channel is to help you understand how to use them. how to access this information so that you can apply it into your body. So when we access from the center of the earth a massive amount of energy and frequency that is in the frequency that the body needs, you feel immediate relief of pain, immediate relief of sorrow, immediate relief of despair. And you begin to rebalance the body because, again, your intuition will know what you need. Usually it's the first color that comes up. Usually it's the first intuition that comes up. But the body begins to reharmonize. Okay, so an aching body, let's say in a severe state of suffering, has one major color and several specific chakras overlarged and over processing information. Okay, so that's how you know when you're in a really despair or imbalanced state, your chakra is overactive. One of them is overactive, completely out of balance. Okay, so we have to begin to rebalance it, and energy healing is one way to do that by using the frequency that will begin to gently harmonize. The other part is that because you're a vortex, as I mentioned in the other class, the vortex of your body connects to the main vortex of the earth, the toroidal field of the earth, by anchoring into the earth so that you can create channels of elimination out of your body. Your intention is that you eliminate what doesn't serve you or what is what you're alchemizing. Okay, it's all about what you're alchemizing. Once you understand a higher frequency, you can allow yourself to release, and the release of energy is very important because you are holding a lot of energy in your tight muscles that you're contracting, and you don't even realize how much you are contracting energy and trying to control energy when you are in a crisis state or when you're sick. When you begin to become aware of that, it'll feel very uncomfortable to release the muscles of the body. You will resist it, and your body will want to keep coming back into contraction because there's a biochemical addiction, number one. Number two, there's a memory in the body which has become comfortable and known, and it's now the new safe. It's a toxic safety, and it's a toxic safe holding pattern in the body. So as you begin to release, that's why meditation every day is extremely important, to train your nervous system to withhold long sessions of absolute stillness. No reaction is extremely important to grow gray matter. Long sustained stillness in observation, no reaction, allows you to cultivate and train the body to withstand larger amounts of frequency and information. And it also it also allows you to have that pause of selecting energy. Sorry, I have like dust all over for some reason. My nose is itching. Yeah, so let's get into the exercise. I want you to get really nice and comfortable, and I'll answer your questions at the end, so please put them in capital letters. Okay, all right, go ahead and get a nice comfortable space. Sit with your back very straight and your feet on the ground. Immediately ground down to the center of the earth. Connect down to the center core. Bring your body into absolute stillness. Breathe deeply into the abdomen. Notice if you're barely breathing or if you forget to breathe, that means you're in survival. So your ability to have long, luxurious breaths down to the base of your spine that are not forced They are just becoming a natural inhale and exhale. Remember that your breath is an energy exchange. It's also a regenerator of energy in your body. So the simple fact that you're breathing consciously and mindfully throughout the day cleans and regenerates your multidimensional body. Actually, the breath functions like a pumping mechanism that brings life force in and out of the body. Breath is life force. Go ahead and focus on the root chakra at the base of the spine. Go ahead and shrink that chakra down to the size of a dime. Your sacral, your solar. Go ahead and expand your heart. Expand your throat. Expand your third eye. Go ahead and visualize that you're wearing an energetic bodysuit that connects down to the center of the earth. And this bodysuit is your energetic anchor. As it connects down to the center of the earth, make it wide. Don't make it thin. Humans have this idea of just sending a little thread down. Make it really wide. Remember how small you are in comparison to the planet Earth. Okay, so the larger your grounding cord, the more grounded and anchored in reality and in your body you will be. So help yourself by expanding your vision, working with your energy. Remember that attention is where energy is directed, and your intention towards whatever you're attending to is the key to creation. So go ahead and allow yourself to ground. You'll notice that the body becomes a lot deeper in relaxation. It drops deeper into relaxation. Go ahead and visualize that you are inside of a sphere, which is your energetic body. Go ahead and repair your field. Make sure it's completely solid, full, complete all around you. And you are at the center of that sphere. And take a moment to begin to notice where your energy has gone today. How much of your energy have you leaked or given away in an unconscious or imbalanced manner? It could be to people, places, things, or even thoughts. It could be the past, the future, imaginary circumstances that don't even exist. A lot of your energy might have been going there. Usually, we are so hypnotized by these memories or experiences that we don't even remember them. So that's a good sign. Remember that a sign of spiritual evolution is that you recover your memory, and you are constantly building your memory by being present every moment. That way, there is no excuse for unconscious behavior. There's no excuse for unconscious reactions. You are accountable for your every action, every thought, every interaction in this realm. So just quickly notice where your energy has gone, where have you leaked energy today? Follow yourself through the hours of the day. And if it's nighttime or if it's daytime for you or morning for you, you can look at yesterday. And by the way, as you review these memories, your body will tend to react in memory to how you held your energy in your body. So just notice that, as you have one memory of something, your belly contracts or your chest contracts, and it's telling you what parts of your body have been leaking the energy into those thoughts, those events, those experiences. So allow yourself to not resist those uncomfortable sensations, but feel them fully, observe them, and let them live out their full expression. So you'll feel yourself drop deeper and deeper into a deeper state of relaxation by releasing these emotions, by acknowledging them. Acknowledge every single contractive emotion that comes up. Notice the impact that your reactions to these things and the leaking of your energy has had on you. How did it affect the rest of your day? Are you more productive or are you less productive when you leak your energy? Are you more distracted or less distracted when you leak your energy? Are you clear about what you're doing or confused about what you're doing? Are you harmonizing with the events that follow the leaking of energy or not harmonizing with those events? If you trace back correctly your events, your intentions behind those experiences, you will immediately see the link of cause and effect in your own life. This is awareness. Okay, so by now you're probably full of thoughts, emotions in the body, and you're going to breathe deeply as you bring yourself into a neutral state. Allow yourself to eliminate from the body all of these emotions as you acknowledge them and feel them in the body. As you observe them, begin to gather the information that they provide for you. It's providing you information of how you behave, how you hold emotions. It's important for you to see that. Okay. Now that you have cleared your body, go ahead and pull from the earth as it comes up through your feet. Remember that your feet, they have vortices as well. So those vortices, they can open and close. And you're going to imagine that you are absorbing from the earth this very healing energy, extremely healing energy that will come up into your shins, your calves, your knees, your thighs, and up into your solar plexus. And as it comes into the solar plexus, allow yourself to rotate that energy there, clearing up the center of your vortex system. Okay, from source, go ahead and pull down a powerful cosmic energy. It's just pure life force centering into the crown of your head, combining with this healing energy. Go ahead and take 10% of that back down. I want you to clear your energetic body. Take 80% of that up your spine. You're going to clean your heart, your throat, your third eye, creating a channel of elimination through the crown, coating the outside of your bubble, which allows you to clear your cords, connections, imbalanced exchanges with those that you've exchanged with, that you've identified earlier. Just imagine calling back all your life force that you leaked back into your body. Only intend to take back your energy. And as it comes back, it comes as a recycled, refined, pure gold energy back into your body. And you're going to release through the blower vortex anything that you have taken on that doesn't belong to you from that exchange. Again, this is with the people, person, or thing, or even thought that you've engaged with, where you have exchanged in an imbalanced, leaking matter of your energy. You might be surprised by the amount of memories and instances that you've leaked your energy. You might also be surprised to notice how much better you feel immediately as you take back your energy. I've healed myself from flus, all kinds of issues with this simple technique. Toxic relationships, toxic patterns of behavior. You will immediately begin to notice more light in your energy body. So let's continue. Go ahead and take that final 10% of that healing energy, and you're going to bring it into the body now as you absorb into the pores, the flesh, the muscles, the bones, nourishing and healing the body. nourishing and healing the body. Okay. So sit for a minute here, clearing, regenerating the body. Go ahead and go up to your crown, activating your crown. Shine your crown on all the karmic contracts that are not in alignment with you. Very good. Allow yourself to focus on the root chakra. You're going to open it back up into a balanced state. Go back into the sacral, open it back into a balanced state. You're going to feel yourself quite regenerated, re-energized. Go into the solar plexus, open it back into a balanced state. The heart comes in a little bit, the throat, the third eye. Excellent. You did amazing. Go ahead and open your eyes and come back into the room, and welcome back. Guys, I want to thank you so much for your amazing questions. It is such an awesome experience to share with you and to see you guys doing this work and enjoy the work that I'm sharing with you. Yeah, if you have any questions, put it in the chat. And if you guys need help one-on-one, you can also let me know. I'll be super happy to work with you. Thank you so much for your super chats and your support. As always, they really mean so much. So let me see if I have some questions here. Would you say we should remove relationships that refuse to do the work? Even after 4 years of trying to be patient, it has taught me so much, but it's not serving us, even though we love each other. Yeah, that's a very beautiful question. With relationships, first thing we have to understand is that if we choose to share our universe with another universe, it's always going to be for the evolution of your soul. And what I can be sure to share with you is that when the evolutionary process of both souls, when they've reached their limit, usually the relationship will fall apart completely. And it helps you understand that when that contractual agreement has ended, then very quickly things will dissolve and fall out of alignment. So if you feel that you've reached all the lessons and the limit of the amount of evolution that you can share with this soul, and if you've done your work and you're doing your work, this answer should be very clear for you, because as you do the internal work, it will help you really clarify the dynamics. And one way that I can suggest to understand what the agreement is, you have to understand your agreement. So you might think that you learned all of these amazing lessons, but oftentimes the reason why we're still in the partnership or the union, and this could be with relationship or with work, whatever relationship with another being, um, there is a resonance that has brought you together. That resonance, that is the contract, that's the agreement. So we need to see how we mirror each other. How are we the same? Because chances are that the things that are triggering you or that have challenged you the most in the relationship are elements that we actually have to integrate within ourselves still. So the integration process of those parts of you will change you. You will no longer be in resonance. And two things will happen. Number one, the things that triggered you before that will not trigger you as much because you have understood both sides of that. And the third part is that you will fall out of alignment with the relationship. And usually a new opportunity will come or a new timeline will open or something will shift. So your participation in that is making sure that you understand your resonance to the relationship because that is your purpose for that relationship. And there can be many resonant energies there and programs that you share. So as you uncover those and integrate and heal yourself from those, that is the gift that this other soul has agreed to provide for you. And some of these relationships can be really severe or they can be very simple, but the transcending of those core resonant contracts is actually the work of the relationship, any relationship. This is really true with children too, with our children. They really push and challenge us out of our comfort zone to learn the lessons. In fact, I find that when people choose to have children, sometimes they have kind of given away their power or they have lost their spiritual connection completely and then are taught and reconnected when they have the child. Because that's what the dynamic of exchange with another organism is, to evolve, because that's the nature of this existence. So this is what I would say. And yeah. Thank you so much, Jenny M. Monica Yoli, love, love. Thank you so much, Abai, Jenny. Alchemist says, today I did alchemize with the heart meditation on the ground, laying in the dirt in an opal and agate mine, and literally felt like I was as light as a cloud. Oh, that's awesome. Love, love. All resonates of mine are mine myself. Oh, sorry. Put your questions in caps. Thank you so much for that. More victorious empowerment. Thank you for that. She said, please like and share if you wish to share. Thank you for that. That's so lovely. Geraldine, I've been distant from my daily practice the last couple of years. I've been well, but now I feel different, not as in tune, um, be, not as in tune as before. Perhaps to fear and misleading myself from grounding. I'm sorry, I don't quite understand that last part of the question, but I'm guessing that you mean that you feel that you are afraid of misleading yourself and from grounding. So misleading yourself. So not right. Right. So yeah. So don't despair if you feel disconnected. And remember that we all go through cycles that sometimes will be very, very connected. And sometimes we'll have major pockets of separation and disconnect. All of them serve their purpose, but if you can try to lessen that gap of and integrate as much as you can to sustain these practices as a way of being, as a way of life, implementing them, the suffering will lessen. Okay. So in this case, fear comes up. Okay. So that is indicating that at some point in the spiritual journey, there has been a mistrust in your spiritual practice. That's very common for people that reach really high levels of spirituality. And it's also common that they create resentments, fears, blockages within themselves, and mistrust in their higher self. So reconnect gently, come back to the basics, be in the full present moment, ground and reconnect into your body so that whatever needs to come up, the information is available to you. And that's a perfect example of the law of accident. It's a subtle example because you're fine, but you begin to kind of feel a little off. That's a perfect law of accident, because that little off feeling is the invitation for you to wake up out of this phase of uh, disconnect and hypnosis back into a state of conscious co-creation. So yeah, gently and lovingly bring yourself back into a practice of the basics. Reconnect with your body, meditate every single day, run energy, clean your energetic body, open yourself up, see what's in there and why we closed away from that connection. Sometimes our ego, we feel like we know it, we're good, we're all good, and life is okay. So we forget. But remember that this life is not about the okay or the experiences. It's about the embodiment of that awareness, actually. It's to be a creator, not to be created by these physical experiences. So that's something that is an invitation for you. More Victorious says, if you can physically feel your crown chakra on your head during meditation, is it overactive? How do you reverse that? No, if you can feel it, that's fantastic. Can you feel the rest of your chakras? And the way that it feels in the body. The closest example I can give you is when you are doing a Kegel contraction. You don't move any external muscle, but you're moving internal muscles. And that's what it feels like to open and expand your chakras, and what it feels like to tune into that. So tune into what you feel in the crown, how it feels to you. It doesn't mean that it's overactive. It means that you're developing your intuition and your vision and your senses and your faculties, essentially. So go further, keep going, allow yourself to, with this new sensory, begin to tune into your other chakras. What are your other chakras doing? Can you feel them? Can you open? Can you expand them? Are they overactive? If you can feel your chakra, you should be able to identify if it's overactive or not. Okay, because if it's over enlarged and just out of balance completely, or it's just stagnant and stuck and barely moving, or there's not a lot of manifestation in your life, that's a clear indication that that chakra isn't operating correctly. So you have to move it and clear with it. How to get through the dark night of the soul? How long is it supposed to last? So it lasts as long as you resist it, because the dark night of the soul is the resistance and the control of a certain paradigm of belief. Okay, so when we are going through a dark night of the soul, there's a major existential crisis. There's a dissonance and a disconnect between who you were at one moment and who you are becoming. So the process of healing that is to bridge the gap by letting go of the need to control or hold on to any old identities, concepts, ideas, and the fear of going into new areas of discovery and experience. So this is a process of complete vulnerability and surrender, excuse me, in order for you to embody and create the new self. So embrace the death of an old aspect of the self, an old belief, an old system, an old understanding. Embrace the unknown, embrace the new. Okay, so we shouldn't be in these places for too long. It's okay to go into these depressive states if we need to, because also the body is adjusting. Sometimes the bridge is so energetically, the gap is so wide energetically that the body has a hard time catching up. And the reason why dark nights of the soul happen is because we miss the integration process of your spiritual work. Okay, and it happens to everyone, because we're all learning how to do this. So how do you know you're evolving and what to do when you're evolving? You have to have a very strong practice of acceptance and surrender in your pocket. The basics have to be burned into your subconscious mind. You are grounded, you are in the physical body, you are in the present. Those are the basics. You can breathe to regulate your nervous system. you understand your awareness. And most of the time, when you come back to that, all of the inconsistencies and disconnects begin to fade away pretty quickly. But the key is to sustain the practice in the basics in order to reintegrate, because what you're cultivating with the basics is a neutral, non-judgmental observation. So, dark nights of the soul, when we are faced with very difficult truths, difficult shadows of ourselves and the world around us, um, we, because of the vibrational disconnect, we want to compartmentalize, and that's the judgmental mind trying to make sense of the information. So it requires the alchemy. Again, you're alchemizing a low dense frequency into a high fast moving frequency. So what makes it fast? Fluid, openness, movement. Okay. So again, physically move your body, get into nature, go into nature for sure, because the intelligence of the earth and connecting to the Akashic field will actually help alleviate that dissonance that you're experiencing with the frequencies that you're processing through your body. Okay, so it requires for you to hold space for yourself right now. Okay, and how do you remove this dark night of the soul? Run energy. Absolutely run energy. As you learn today, this meditation will absolutely assist you. Break karmic contracts daily to begin to move that and heal the body. Okay. Okay, guys. I hope I didn't miss any questions. More Victoria says, question, when I do certain meditation, I see two sources, one off to the right, hand side and forward from the highest of the high. Do you have any insights from this? Okay, so you see, fundamentally, subconscious program that we have is about separation in some way. Okay, so that when that is a core processing system, the way we see the world outside of us is from that perspective of separation. That's the first thing we need to say and establish. Okay, and you can use that and process that and see how it applies for you in your work. Secondly, it would be interesting for you to question what is a source. Because you are a multidimensional being and you have the capacity, as you can see, to connect to many dimensions of information. So the invitation is for you to tune in to the different sources that have been present for you and to begin to observe the frequency of information that's available from them. Usually there's a masculine feminine kind of energy that is demonstrating in its separation. So identify if you see that masculine and feminine energy, dualistic energies. And what was the other thing I wanted to tell you? The invitation is to see how are we unified through these two sources. Okay. Also, because you're multidimensional, you might be pulling from two different sources of information. Okay, so we are all in nothing. Okay, so I want to put that out there first. But how you process information that you encounter is going to help you see who you are, and more than likely, you have activated memories from past lives that you are accessing now, and so you have to process that information. Okay, so yeah, let me know if I can help you more with that in private, because I would have to know a little bit more about other parts of it. Another thing that I want to mention, and I don't know if this might be applicable, but in our crown we have I talked about the pineal gland. There are two vortex openings in the pineal gland, and some people, they see those two as a split and separate energies when they're meditating. And some people think those are sources, but actually they're projections of their pineal gland, of their third eye system. and it just looks like two different source colors. Okay, so take a look and see if maybe that is also what's happening, because I've had that a lot with some clients. All right, love you so much, Lonika Yoli. Thank you so much. Lisa, hi. Question about the crown chakra color. When I allow the creative color to come up, I get purple, pink, and gold. It's a blend of these colors. I struggle to see that wheel you shared. Any advice? Okay, so the chakra is a wheel. It's just a wheel. The chakra, well, okay, so we make it a wheel because that's the way that humans process the concept of organizing information in a way, okay? But this chakra is interconnected to every aspect of your self. That's actually what it is. It's an incredible network web that is interconnected to your entire body, all parts of your organism. That's the crown. And it also double-sided connects with the external projection. That's why the crown is so important. It's a double-sided web of information, processing data. So to simplify this concept, we create a wheel where we intentionally align all the areas of our life with our creative color. Okay, so just use whatever visual is easier for you. You don't even need to look at a wheel. You could just intend that your crown is filled with the color of your creation. Your color creation is your intention to live your life from your highest self. That's the intention. That's what the crown is for. When you live your life from from your higher self, it changes the outcome of all these parts that you intend and infuse that intention into. So this is what you're doing. So if you can, maybe that will be a more practical way for you to visualize. Don't worry so much about the mechanical visualization of it, or I should say the literal imagination of that visualization, but the intention is what matters. And as long as you're clear on that, that's when you start seeing some results in your life. What are your thoughts on twin flames? Yeah, I don't resonate too much with the whole concept of twin flames and soulmates, because I think we are one organism. I do, however, believe that because of the law of resonance, we attract the counterpart that will challenge our evolution. And especially romantic relationships are the utmost difficult level 10 challenge of the integration of the higher self and the physical, because you are purposefully uniting yourself with a whole other universe, which is a manifestation of separation that you are learning how to merge. Okay, that embodiment of merging yourself with a whole nother human, a whole nother universe, is a very powerful lesson that we have here on earth. And when we understand it and when we take responsibility about our intention with those relationships, because when you come into a relationship, you better know what you're doing there. You better have a clear intention, because otherwise you will have lots of lessons to learn. Okay, and yeah, so be clear about that and don't lie to yourself. Don't hide your own intentions. Most of my clients that have severe relationship issues, they are sometimes suppressing those parts. So relationships are a great learning exercise of desires, exchanges, creation. Okay, excellent. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Love you. Thank you for being here, and I will see you soon. All my love.